don't judge my life based on material possessions, mainly because I don't really have access to them. I judge my life based on achievements and milestones. Like, I don't mean to brag, but a little while ago, I hit the big time. I married an American, which is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, according to Americans. They are so excited for me. Like, wow, you married an American. Your parents must be so proud. I'm like, they're a little concerned. They're worried about me. No, you could be an American now. Don't you want to be an American? Pew, pew, pew. I'm like, calm down. Okay, I don't have the confidence to be an American. I'm not qualified. Americans are confident people. Like, I was in America and I wanted to go to some fine dining restaurant, so I turned up at Pizza Hut. And a guy was coming outside and he held the door open for me. He said, "After you, big dog." I'm 5'7". I've never been called big dog in my life. I'm like, me? He's like, "Yeah, come on through, big dog." I'm like, stop it. No, it's not me. I'm a little dog. Stop it. Get out of here. I'm not even a big, I don't even have a tail. Stop it. He's like, "Come on through." And he gave me a fist bump. And that confidence was contagious. All of a sudden, I felt that American confidence. And I felt 6 foot tall. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am a big dog. I felt so confident. I walked into that Pizza Hut. I bought a family meal. That's how excited I was. My father-in-law was so pumped for me when I married his daughter. As a wedding gift, he bought me a Costco membership. That's a dowry in the state of Kentucky. It's like, that's a Costco membership. You can go to any Costco around the world. I'm like, why would I go to Costco when I'm overseas? You can get the best bagels in Costco. You got to buy 3,000, but they're the best bagels. You can get the best red wine from Italy in Costco. It's from a region in Italy called Kirkland, Italy. Best Italian wines. You can get a coffin in Costco. When I die, I want you to put me in that coffin, leave me in Costco, because that's my idea of heaven, amen. I'm like, mate, wait till you discover LD. You're going to have a great time. No membership needed.
This is before I started pretending to be corporations. One day I was on a Facebook page called Warburton Farms, and they had pictures of cows. So I wrote to them and I asked if they host cow milkings. And they said, no, we don't have any dairy cows, only beef cows. I said, so the cows don't have milk? They said, yes, cows are mammals, so they have milk, but we do not milk them. And then my friend Phil commented, and he said, they just kill them. And it got 1 like. I was like, I wonder who liked that. It was Warburton Farms. What do you think about that one? That's a strange one, isn't it? It's an old classic. So I had a City of Atlanta Facebook page for several years, and during having this Facebook page, the Super Bowl came to Atlanta. And during the Super Bowl, Pepsi was advertising all over Atlanta, which is weird because Atlanta is the home of Coca-Cola. It was invented there, and they have a museum about it. And so I said, we're working with officials to have these signs removed. Pepsi has no place in Atlanta. And someone messaged the page, said, ever heard of the First Amendment or maybe even capitalism, Atlanta? You may believe Coke is better, but Pepsi has every right to advertise in your arrogant city. We do not negotiate with terrorists. I used to live in Los Angeles, too. I had a City of Los Angeles Facebook page. I had that for a while. I was there during the beginning of the pandemic when everyone stayed at home, and so the roads emptied out. And then people in LA were flying down the empty streets. So I said, we understand you're enjoying the empty roads, but we need you to slow the down. Melissa's like, somebody's getting fired. Probably not. Does the city handbook allow for city employees to use profanity? Hell yeah. Keep those city ones in there? All right.
Number 1 show on TV 6 years in a row was Man vs. Food. Yeah, they're doing it again. They got a new guy because the first one exploded or whatever. We don't need to do that show again. I learned everything I was supposed to learn the first time around. I watched that show as if it were a documentary meant to show America what will happen to your body if you eat unhealthy every day for 6 years. If you watch it like that, it works. You could leave here tonight. Go to YouTube. Do a search for Man versus Food. Watch a clip from season 1, then immediately watch a clip from season 6. You'll notice a difference right away. That guy was way skinnier when he started, and he had an amazing vocabulary. Where'd that go? Watch season 1. He's very articulate. He's like, folks, there is a symphony of flavor going on in my mouth right now. When I bit down, I got heat from the peppers, I got sweet from the relish, little salt from the bacon. This place, they've done it, I'll tell you. They have made perfect harmony in the form of a sandwich. And then 6 years later, he's like, this is yummy. This is really good. It's too easy to eat terrible. It's everywhere, and I fall for it. I see some gimmick food, they're like, this is the most calories ever. And I'm like, I gotta try that. Wendy's has a sandwich called Son of Baconator. Their food is making babies when they're closed to sell the next day. Little sandwich children.
I celebrate the differences between Jews and non-Jews. If you don't think there are differences, you're out of your mind. There are. If you don't believe me, go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. Home Depot is a code. It means Jews, you have no business shopping in here. Everyone that's not Jewish walks in there, they know exactly what they need. I need a 3x2 bike pipe with reversible threading and a drip clamp, and the guy's gone. Jews walk into Home Depot, they look constipated. And then a half hour, does anybody work here? Does anybody work here out of pity, out of Rachmanis? They come over to help us. What are you looking for there, Jew? And we have no idea what the stuff's even called. I'm looking for the thing that goes inside. It's the piece that goes in before you put the other, you screw in the piece that's in. Oh, an anchor, that's it, an anchor. Beth, it's called an anchor. Yes, my neighbor, the guy, is gonna help me put shelves up, which is one of the nicest ways to use the word guy.
This is what's going to happen, okay? We're just telling jokes. They're just jokes. Just jokes, okay? It's just comedy. Comedy. Look, the word's right there. Comedy, okay? Just let's all remember that. No one's allowed to get offended. A lot of people are getting offended very easily these days. And then everyone's just worried about saying the wrong thing. And I know that you are, because you do the same thing that I do. If you're driving along in your car, and you've got passengers in your car, and you answer a phone call and it goes on speakerphone, the first thing you say is, just letting you know that you're on speaker and there's other people in the car. You may as well say, don't talk about the shit we usually talk about. There's other people here. They won't get our humour, they'll judge us. Everyone's terrified of offending. You can't offend Australians, you can't. You tried. You tried with Outback Steakhouse, you tried. F you, America, how dare you? How dare you? Just a fabrication franchise throughout your entire country. That's a complete mockery of my whole culture. And you guys are totally fine with that. Are you totally fine? What the f*** is a bloomin' onion? I've never heard of that in my life. It's a staple dish in this establishment. You all know it. It's a deep fried onion the size of a football. It's what they eat. That's what they eat down under, you know? We don't call it down under either, by the way. We're there. We're there. We don't call you up, over, or whatever you are. I'm not offended by Outback Steakhouse. I think it's hilarious. I don't care.
There's also people out there that review cat food. Here's the kicker. In character as their cat. Like, if you look it up, you can look it up when you get home, like Fancy Feast website. There's like reviews and they're like, every morning I go over to my bowl and I'm so excited to eat my Fancy Feast. It's and I assume they're writing it in character as their cat. Otherwise, Fluffy is a weird woman.
You know, there was a thing I read recently there was a woman in Decatur, Georgia. She heard some buzzing. You're gonna love this one then. She had 120,000 bees living in her ceiling. This is true. You can Google it later. Just put in 120,000 and bee, it'll autocorrect bees. And I don't know about you guys, Denver, but I feel like if I see 5 bees, I'm like, there's a lot of bees here. We should do something about our bee problem. But you know, me, maybe I'm some liberal coastal elite mother who notices bees, you know? Well, let's say 10,000 bees. Wow, 10,000 bees coming and going from your house, doing what they do, eating leaves and I don't know much about bees' lives or what they eat. That definitely seems like enough bees to be like, bees. No? What about 20,000 bees? That's 2 times 10,000 bees, which already seemed like a lot to me. No? 30,000 bees? I talked to a bee person. 30,000 bees is 9 pounds of bees. That's a healthy baby boy of bees. Definitely seems like enough bees to be like, we have bees here. No? 40,000 bees. 40,000 bees. That is a golden doodle of bees. Woof, woof. There are bees here. No, we're not noticing them yet? 50,000 bees. 50,000 bees. That's Dodger Stadium of bees. Each bee has its own seat. Adorable, but a lot of bees. Empirically, a lot of bees. What? 60,000? What are you talking about? 60,000 bees and we haven't noticed them? That's a Nissan Juke filled with bees. They're packed in tight. They're holding each other, tip to tail, tip to tail. They could drive the thing if they could figure it out, but they can't because they're bees. Nary a peep from this woman at 60,000 bees. It takes 2 Nissan Jukes filled with bees before this woman is like, there appear to be bees here. And that's America, guys.
My entourage, my grandma and her friends, yeah, they're in their 90s, dude. You don't feel old around them. Like when I turned 40, I had a panic attack. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it, I'm 40. Around them, they're like, what? What? You're just a child. You're still a child. And I'm like, yeah, I'm still a child. But I feel bad for them because they don't have that in their life. Like when they turn 90, they don't have anybody making them feel better. Like they don't have a friend that's like 150 to tell them, that, you know what I mean? When they're like, I can't believe it. I am 90. They don't have a 150-year-old friend like,
But like, I love my wife, but she's from a different town in rural Tennessee. Like, her blood ain't top shelf for nothing, you know? Like, let's be honest. Like, my wife's blood is like boxed wine, you know? It's like, it's nobody's favorite, but people can handle it in a pinch, you know? My blood's just moonshine made in a radiator, dude. Like, it's just poison. That's all it is. Right? So I worry all the time about how my kids are going to turn out, right? But believe it or not, living in Los Angeles has kind of helped me with this. Because, like, you live in LA, you look around, you see plenty of rich white kids that are all f***ed up too, you know? And it makes me feel better. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's not about the blood. Maybe it's just a crapshoot either way, right? But I got to say, I feel like that's another way in which they're different is childhood trauma. Because, like, rich white kids are like, yeah, my mother was never very emotionally available, and I've got a lot of residual psychological scarring from that. And white trash kids are like, I got beat with a tire iron. I have actual scars from that.
Respect all of y'all and your money, hell yeah. Any poor people make it out, what's up? Hell yeah, thank you for coming out, thank you. But next time somebody asks you if you're poor, don't say nothing. That's why you're poor in the first place. You keep saying it out loud, stop that. Be cool and quiet like the riches over here. Cool and quiet, yeah. I like that, man. Rich people never tell you how much money they got. They never tell you they rich. You ask them a direct question, they give you an indirect answer, you know? You got money? Oh, we're all equal. You know, that's not what I asked. I asked if you had money, you know? That's why sometimes I gotta ask in a different way, you know, ask smoothly, subtly, be cool. Be like, hey man, you play golf? What's up? You a golf player? How you doing? All right. Golfers, man, they're always coy too. They're all, I play, but I'm not that good, you know? I'm a member, but I never go, you know, that kind of like, so cute. You never meet like a loud golfer, right? Like a cocky golfer, right? Come off the green like, man, I golfed the out of that round. Like I've never met.
My dad has spent his whole life running from himself. His whole fucking life. What's going on? Get the car, get the dog. We're going to the beach now. You can relax, Dad. We're on holidays. We could be on holidays faster. Dad treats life like a race. It's like a job to get done. Get born, grow up, meet someone, get married, have kids, retire, dead. Good, done. Done, good. Life's done. Good. What's next? Looks like the afterlife needs a mow. Let's mow the afterlife. Let's get that job done. Dad never looks inward. He's just going, you won't get me, life. I'm going too quick to feel. You won't catch me. I wish I was like that, you know, just running through life, leaving a wake of mentally ill children behind me.
So I'm in therapy. Anybody here in therapy? Oh, wow. That's a nice response. Usually it's just one person that's like, help. I'm like, oh. Let's talk to you. Yeah, I think therapy is amazing. But I guess not everybody always needs therapy. Some people do need therapy. And you can usually tell who those people are because they say things like, I don't need any therapy. I prefer to be a burden to my loved ones.
Side story. The loudest sound in the world is when a drunk chick is at a bar and runs into her friend that she didn't plan on seeing that night. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. It is jarring. You'll be hammered at the bar like, yeah, I know, it's like, I don't want to go to work on Monday. It's like, my f***ing job sucks. It's like, so stupid. Oh my God. Is that Stacy? I think that's Stacy. Stacy! 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 Ah! Ah! everyone's like, oh my God, are we in Jurassic World? You just saw her a week ago.
You know that whole, you might get hit by a bus tomorrow? It's one of my favourite excuses for doing anything, because it excuses anything. Because it's like, could get hit by a bus tomorrow? Why not? I can do whatever I want because I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. But what I find weird about that saying is I don't know why it's always a bus. Like, the saying is a bus, right? You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. I don't know why that is, because, you know, a car would kill you, a train would kill you, but the saying is, and always has been, a bus. Why? Is there some rogue bus driver out there just hooning around, mowing down people who aren't living in the moment? And it only works in a city as well. Like, if you live in a little country town, you can't be like, what are you doing that for, Dave? Like, well, could get hit by a bus tomorrow. No, you couldn't. It's not here till next Wednesday.
I have 4 younger than me friends who have said to me in the last several years that they were empaths. Not I'm empathetic, not I'm sympathetic, not I'm patient, tolerant, or kind, but I am an empath. Nope. I'm like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, like Deanna Troi from Star Trek: The Next Generation, like a demon from Buffy. No, you are not an empath. You had a human experience. Someone was crying. You made eye contact. Someone looked up from their phone and you were there. And my buddy, who I love dearly, said to me, no, it's more than that. It's like when someone else's dog dies, I feel it just as badly as they do. And I was like, wow, do you feel the hostility coming off of me? You getting that? Because the word you're looking for is narcissism, and you're killing me.
I also don't trust, companies that much. Like, these companies that have, very strong political stances, it's all for money. It doesn't matter what they're fighting for or trying to rep. It's always for money. I was at a store recently, and I picked up a bag of coffee in the coffee section. It has a sticker on it, and the sticker said, 10% of the proceeds for this coffee go to the LGBTQ fund to save the whales of the Atlantic. Said all that in one sticker. What's the target demo for that? You know what I mean? There's nothing like a little more broad that we can be support. I support all those things for sure, all of them. The whales, the letters, all of the things. I support the letters, all of the letters. I think we need more letters, honestly. Put some more in the put a plus. There's a plus. Maybe throw a hieroglyph in there, or a parentheses, equal sign. Multiplication. We will PEMDAS our way to equality, okay? But then 2 rows over, I saw another bag of coffee and had a sticker on that one that said 10% of the proceeds for this brand go to American-made bullets in Kentucky. And I was just like, yo, all I want is a brand of coffee that guarantees for every cup I drink, 10% of my insides will come shooting out of my ass. That's all I want. Shooting. You're getting assaulted tonight, sir. You can take it. Hell yeah. Brother. You look like you greet people with brother. Yeah. I do think if aliens landed, I would be a little bit nervous about how they would judge us, okay? Specifically based on where they land, Like if they land in Portland versus Texas, you know what I mean? Give them 2 very different opinions about America. First off, they probably wouldn't land because would you interrupt the most insane movie you've ever seen? Right before the whole explosion happens? No. If aliens landed in Portland, you can imagine somebody coming up to them being like, hi, welcome, come on in. Welcome. We have an open ozone policy, yes. Come on in, sir. Ma'am, what are your pronouns? Yeah, that makes sense. Welcome. Come in. Yeah, you need a place to stay? We suggest the streets of San Francisco. Here's $800 a month and make sure you vote. If they land in Texas, dude, Imagine them running into this guy. Walking up to him like, hey, you alien, you legal? Uh-huh. What is that shit on? Gravity?
All I'm saying is I've been getting a lot of bar fights because I don't think... You can't tell me you love the First Amendment and tell me I can't criticize the troops, because I'm going to stand here as an American also and tell you I don't think Navy SEALs should be ticklish and... And there's always some guy with like a grunt-style t-shirt at the other end of the bar like, why not? It's endearing. No, it's a weakness. And it shouldn't be tolerated. You're telling me these are the best of the best and all it's gonna take is a big feather to get them to spill the beans? It's unacceptable, unacceptable. Navy SEALs shouldn't be ticklish, and also, you shouldn't qualify for the CIA if you've ever fallen for a surprise party. That should just be the test. That should be one of the tests. Oh, I thought we were just going to Nana's house. Yeah, on your birthday! If everybody yells surprise and you're like, I had no idea, then the surprise is you need to find a new career. I will say this, politically speaking, I will say this. I think that the last 8 years in this country has really ruined the president's been kidnapped genre of action movie. I will say that it has deflated my enthusiasm. Man, that was a fun movie 10 years ago. That was fun. Oh, you'd go right to the cinema on Friday. The president's been kidnapped. Oh no, who's gonna save him? Channing Tatum? I hope his shirt doesn't come off. We were excited for those. You can't make that movie now. That movie does not have the steam it once held. The president's been kidnapped. Well, yeah, I mean... It's not good out there. People aren't happy, man. Inflation's out of control. Well, what are the kidnappers asking for? Healthcare? Yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll watch it, but I'm not rooting for who you want me to root for. Oh, they saved him? Okay, that's cool. Why my premium still through the roof? I'm not going to the sequel, I'll tell you that.
Here we go. Here are the deleted scenes. This is a Facebook group. This is way before coronavirus even existed. Before coronavirus was like a huge thing. Anyways, anti-vaxxers, they congregated in these groups like this one, Vaccines, the Harmful and Deadly Truth. So I tried to join that Facebook group with my fake profile, Rob Burlap. And then once they let Rob Burlap into the group, I changed his name to Measles. What do we think about that one? Okay, here's a post in the group. Someone's like, thinking about only allowing my daughter to have a few vaccines, the ones that protect against tetanus, meningitis, and polio. Whew, that was a close one. What do we like that? All right. This is a Disney Plus animated short that featured a gay character and storyline. When this came out, someone commented and said, well, it looks like it's time to cancel my free trial. We're sorry to hear we'll be losing your $0 per month. All right, here's another one. This is a news post about the Hallmark Channel. Someone's like, Hallmark has become like the rest of the Hollywood garbage. Go f*** yourself this Christmas. Keep it. All right. Here's a post about Applebee's $5 margaritas. Someone named Trae is like, who still goes to Applebee's? Your wife and another man last night. Another Trae, by the way. You noticed? This is a neighborhood group that I joined. Sometimes I go in neighborhood groups where I don't live just to see what's going on in there. And in this one, they're having an issue with a skunk, right? So I saw someone say, yeah. Someone said, "Did we just hear gunshots?" Someone said, "Yeah, it's the skunk." So I posted in the group and said I was the one who shot the skunk. Some guy named Bill commented and said, "What street?" So I don't live there. I had to find a street name to give them. And I saw someone else in another post in the group saying they lived on Buck Run. So I said, I hit him with a buckshot on Buck Run. Were you interested in buying the meat? He's like, "No thanks, just hoping it was the one at my house." "Oh, I can get the one at your house too for a price. Just say a number and it will be done." "I'll get him, but thanks." "Oh, no, don't worry about it. I'll head over in a bit. I just need to finish watching Wheel of Fortune." He's like, "I haven't seen or smelled him since I got back from hunting. They like to go rogue when they know we're onto them. That could be his final move before he tries to enter the home. I'll head over shortly." "Hey, are you home?" "Sleeping. How are you typing then?" "I'm on my way to take care of the skunk. It's not here tonight." "Oh, it's always there tonight."
Golden Corral, that place is still a thing. You ever go to Golden Corral? You can go once. Can't go twice. Because when you go that first time, you learn there are no rules. There is no code of conduct. That's why it's called Golden Corral. It's just like the Old West of eating. I was like, maybe this was a bad idea. We tried to leave. The guy's like, "Sir, is there a problem?" "Look, man, I appreciate you giving me access to a chocolate fondue fountain for $9. The problem is I just watched the guy walk by with his prime rib." I was like, "Hey, man, that's not gravy." "I know." "What is that you got?" "Whipped cream on corn on the cob. It's called cream corn." But I've needed to lose weight for a while, and I feel like I tried everything, you know. And I would talk about it on stage, and then people would yell out how they think I should lose weight, you know. One lady's like, "You should go vegan," and I don't know if there's any vegans in here with enough strength to raise your hand, but look, if you can do it, good for you, okay? I can't do it. I've only had one vegan experience. It did not go well. I was in Jacksonville, and I was walking down the street, and I passed a bakery with all these beautiful things in the window. So I just kind of poked my head, and I go, "Excuse me, ma'am, what's that right there on the bottom?" And she goes, "That's a root beer float donut. We just took it out of the oven about a half hour ago. Do you want one?" I was like, "No, I want two. But only put one in the bag, because the other one ain't making it out of this store." So she hands me the one over the counter. I take a bite as we walk to the register, and I was like... Oh. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I think you made this wrong." She goes, "No, I didn't make it wrong, sir. Are you not aware that you're in a vegan bakery?" I was like, "I don't even know what that means." And so she points to this sign behind the counter, and it says, "No product contains an ingredient that comes from an animal." And I was like, "Well, that's ironic, because this is some bullshit." No, I didn't say it, but I should have said it, because she deserved to hear it. And she did deserve to hear it. She should have known when I came through that door, I was in the wrong place. Look at me. Look at me! I guarantee I don't look like any of her regulars, okay? And I would have had a lot more respect for her if she would have been like, "Sir, I think you might want the place down the street." Yeah. Don't worry, it happens all the time. They'll have everything you're looking for. Milk, eggs, butter, taste. Right down the street. It's like 4 blocks. I'm sure you'll call an Uber. You can wait inside. It's fine.
And the hardest part of teaching is, do we have any teachers here? And what do you teach? Grade 6, that's where I failed. Teaching hungover, gotta be the hardest Is it not? It's impossible. There's no job. I've had jobs. You can get around it hungover. Not teaching. There's 35 kids with questions that love it. No, don't love it today. Grade 12s, it wasn't so bad. I could walk into the grade 12s when I taught and say, kids, I'm hungover today. I don't feel like talking. They're like, perfect, so are we. This is great. Let's play heads up, 7-up, sir. Yeah, let's do that. That's good. Let's forget the curriculum. Can't do that with the grade 5s. No. They drive you nuts when your head's pounding, you're hungover. There's always that helper kid. Remember, this idiot wants to follow you around all day and help. Can I hold the door? Can I get the balls? Shows up at your class at 7 in the morning because his parents can't stand him either. Remember this kid? Oh, drove me nuts. It's the worst with little kids. I had to tell them I was sick. Kids, I'm sick today. And then they want to participate. Maybe you have a tummy ache. No, I don't have a tummy ache. A virus? No, look, I know what I have today. I know what the problem is, okay? You don't need to guess all day, okay? And talking is bad for this sickness that I have. That's the sickness I have. I assigned presentation day when I was hungover the first time. Bad idea. Oh my God, grade 5s, this is the end of the world. This is the biggest day of their life. Presentation on the giraffe. I'm not even listening to these things. I've given everybody 7 out of 10 the night before. I don't care. Just want to get through the day. Not to them, this is it. Especially girls. As soon as you said the word presentation, they weren't listening anymore. They wanted to see if you were going to say the word partner so they could signal. If he says partners, we'll be partners. If he says partners. Okay, that's their signal. Partners, he says partners. Sorry, Julie, I already signaled to Jennifer. It's the signal we have. Sir, can we have groups of 3? Yeah, go ahead. Go in groups of 8. I'm not listening to these things. I hated partners because there's always that one kid that no one picks. Remember this little kid in grade 5? He had a mustache. That's why no one picked him. Remember that kid? Like, Tony, you have a mustache. You're freaking everybody out. Shave it. You're 9. So I got to push him with the helper group, and there's 3 of them standing up there talking. I've got a headache. Chewbacca's not saying a word. He's just playing with his mustache. Everybody's gotten 7 out of 10, but these girls don't get it. They're putting their heart and soul. They have a conference. This is the biggest presentation we'll ever have. We need to get extra marks. They always had extra marks. They'd do anything. They'd bring a giraffe. Bring in the giraffe. Bring it in. We're going to show them what a giraffe is. This is our giraffe. Stop. From Africa. Stop. Girls, you didn't need to go to Africa, okay? You got 7 out of 10 already. You're doing way too much. And then they would just argue. That was the whole presentation. My head's pounding. I'm at the back. Oh, God. Today, we are going to talk about the giraffe. I was supposed to say that. One little mistake. Sir, can we start over? No. Sit down. That was great. 7 out of 10.
I saw a Gen Z girl get into a minor fender bender car accident with an older lady. And they both rolled down their window. And the first thing the Gen Z girl says is, honestly, we did not slay this, she said. And I was like, okay, I love you guys. That's the hardest shit I ever heard somebody say after a car accident. Honestly, we did not slay this. Is that what you tell Geico? Is that what you tell insurance? Hey, it says Geico, what happened? I can tell you what did not happen. We did not slay, mama. Okay, do you want us to send someone? Is the car total? No, the car is total, but the vibes remain immaculate.
So my birthday, I'm just gonna go back. So my birthday, I was angry and I was driving. Everybody knows when you're angry and you're driving, you crash. So I was speeding really hard. I get pulled over, right? The cop gets out of the car, it's a black cop, so immediately I'm like, yeah, about to get a discount. So he walks over, right? He goes, let me see your license registration, please. I panicked and I gave him my Applebee's gift card. He goes, you trying to bribe me with an Applebee's gift card? Get out the car. And when he said that on the inside, I was like, it's my birthday. But on the outside, I just turned 19. I'm trying to be tough in front of my brother. I'm like, I got a car, don't matter to me, cuz. Oh, you gonna put cuffs on me? Okay, you think it's the first time I've been in cuffs? Because it was. I was like, these are so cold. And he goes, what's up with your attitude? And I was like, I ain't got no attitude. But I said it like that. So he starts to put me in the back of the cop car. As he's doing that on the inside, I was like, it's my birthday. But on the outside, I'm like, it's my birthday. And I peed on myself a little bit. It wasn't like a full amount of pee. It was right before the cutoff point. I was like, ooh, that was almost unstoppable. And so I get inside the back of the cop car because he wouldn't let me in the front. And he goes, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, it's my birthday. Everybody forgot. And then he checks my ID, sees it's my birthday, and says, all right, man, get out of here. I was like, are you serious? He goes, yes, I'm serious. Hurry up and get out before I change my mind. And I was like, oh, snap, man, but like I'm in cuffs right now. And he says, oh yeah, my bad, let me get out. Then he gets out, he unlocks the door, he uncuffs me, goes, hey man, just slow down. I was like, thank you so much, officer. I start walking back to the car, hit that little spin move, hey. You know that spin move where you try to wipe all the tears before your brother sees you crying? I did that one. And I get in the car, my brother's like, I already heard you crying. I was like, I don't care, it's my birthday. I'll cry if I want to. Like, you know, you would cry too if it happened to you. And, you know, the cop, he pulled up right next to me. And he rolled down the window and says, hey man, happy birthday. Pulls off. I'm like, wow, this man just stole my Applebee's gift card. It's the worst birthday ever, man.
I hit a cop car with my car. I don't recommend doing that. I was driving home with my fiance. We were just a few blocks from home. We were passing by this cafe that I go to from time to time. I noticed it peripherally that they were open later than usual. So I turned my head like, oh, they're open later than usual. When I turned back, the words police were getting closer and closer. I rammed into the cop car's bumper, and my fiance, to her credit, didn't say anything, but I could just feel everything she was thinking. I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right about all of it. The cop car, we're at a light, the cop car turns off to a side street. So then I turn to my fiance, like, should we just get the hell out of here? Like, it's like, no, we can't do that. So then I turn and follow the cop and pull up behind him. Now all of a sudden it's like I'm pulling him over. It's like, maybe I work for the NYPD now. So then we're just sitting and waiting. Cop finally gets out, ambles over. First thing he says is, bad idea hitting a cop car. I was like, yeah, actually, it wasn't my idea. It just happened. Then he was kind of like pacing around. Like, remember when you were a kid and your parents were almost like searching for the punishment? They were beside themselves. So I'm waiting. Finally, he's like, fuck it, I don't want to deal with this. I was like, that was my solution. Then he goes, you were never here. Which I thought was almost existential. Like, are any of us ever really, truly here? Then he turns and walks back to his car. As he's about to get in, he turns back and says, oh, are you okay? I was like, yeah, we're fine. Are you okay? He's like, yeah. Gets into his car, drives away. I turn to my fiance and say, I don't know what these black folks are complaining about. That could not have been a more pleasant exchange. I felt safe, I felt protected, I felt like my life mattered.
Life is fun, you know, life is, you get a lot of laughs out of life if you approach it the right way. I used to get a lot of laughs when I lived down in Santa Monica. When I needed a good laugh, I'd go to the Venice Beach boardwalk. Oh, the best people watching on the planet. If you've never been there, this place is like a mental institution / flea market. It's the strangest people you've ever seen in your life selling the worst business products imaginable. It's just fascinating to me. There was this guy, this magic stick guy I used to love to go check out. I feel like he'd probably been doing it for 10 years, before I was there. Apparently he'd been doing it a long time. And I love that he would just show up day after day for this crazy business plan of his. He would wear this big black top hat. He had like a black kind of makeup, under his eyes and stuff, and these, long black dreads, little kind of occulty trinkets in it. This whole kind of like black trench coat situation. He had a sign that said "Magic Sticks, $10." And by magic stick, he meant a piece of wood he had found that he had glued to a rock he had found. That was his entire business plan, was just to sell stick rocks. I never saw a single person buy one, but he would just show up day after day, just so committed. And I just thought about how much fun I could have with the little world he created. Like, it's kind of mean, but also how funny would it be if I would have just showed up one day after he's been doing this for over a decade. I just rent the booth space next to his, and I just wander over there with a bigger black top hat. Black makeup, the dreads, the trinkets, trench coat. I have a sign that says "More magical sticks, $9.99. I got a bunch of bigger sticks glued to bigger rocks. And then I have a bunch of friends line up and just pretend to be customers and buy one after another, and then just watch his mind implode. Just to think for over 10 years he was a penny and a bigger stick away from financial success. So close. Or it could have been more dramatic. I could have showed up with my kids, Kyler Monroe, when they were younger, like when they're like, 7 and 9 kind of age. Show up there and be so excited to buy one of his magic sticks. Like, oh my gosh, we love magic. This is so great. I love that you're doing this. Cannot wait to try these out. This is so fantastic. And just buy a couple magic sticks and then just, take off all happy. And then show up like, I don't know, hour or two later. No kids, just very emotionally upset. Just kind of somberly approaches his booth. Take out a couple little gerbils or small lizards out of my pocket. Set them on the booth and I'm gonna fix this. You change them back, Warlock! I want my kids back! Oh, just to see the look on his face. What a mixture of emotions. So happy his magic was real. So sad he can't control it. Or if I really wanted to be dramatic, I could have went to like a Hollywood movie studio, got a big wizard suit, look very realistic. Have a whole wand and everything, just approach him from afar, real dramatically. You don't know what you dally with here, sorcerer. Leave these realms for a real wizard, Electrico. And right when I say Electrico, a friend I had sneak up behind him, starts to taser him. Leave here! Again, such a mixture of emotions. So happy he's in a wizard duel. So sad he's losing. I'd have to have another friend videotape it, So if the police arrest me for assault, I can show them the tape and they let me go for being pretty clever. Technically that's illegal, but it's pretty funny. You can go. I wish that's how the law worked.
I never dealt with somebody who had like bipolar issues. Have you guys? I never dealt with that before, right? I've dealt with like other shit, like high blood pressure, like. Put that salt down. I know how to do that. I'm trying to live. You know what I mean? I know how to. Bipolar, I had never dealt with in my life, right? But I'm learning with bipolar, like they got like a weird laugh when they angry, right? Like she would get mad. She's like, ha right? I'm for real, dog. And I would be in the house. I would be like, hey, you good? She's like, I'm good. I'm like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, you don't act like no punk. Like, all right, well, maybe she from the hood. I don't know. Right? Then when she got mad, I found out like bipolar people, she got mad. She don't never want to be here. Right? When she got mad, she's like, I don't even want to be here right now. And I was like, oh, where you want to go?
One thing I don't like is a baby on an airplane. I mean, seriously, on my flight here, there was a baby on board that I wanted to murder. Never got the chance, though, because it was sleeping quietly the entire time on the opposite side of the plane.
Didn't realize just how culturally Italian I was, being from Staten Island, until I moved to California and I met actual white people. From places like Utah and whatever the Wyoming is. It was the first time in my life I saw a group of people and I was like, am I white?
You could be any witness that you want to be. I started doing comedy in Ohio when I first started. My friends and I, you're always a broke person as a comedian, looking for ways to make money. Well, my one friend told me about this thing where you can sue somebody on court television, and the court show actually pays whoever wins, and it doesn't go on anybody's record. So we started just making up cases to sue each other, and then just split the money and make sure the plaintiff wins. I was a witness on Judge Alex. My team won, and I'm glad we won because I needed the money at the time.
Man, I'm just glad we got this money. I needed the money so bad. I'm broke. I have like 3 frozen hamburgers at home. I can't afford to buy toothpaste.
You could be any plaintiff that you want to be. I was on Judge Joe Brown as a plaintiff. You can be any defendant that you want to be. I was on Judge Alex again as a defendant. I went a few years later. I used my middle name to slip past the producers. And this one I played a promoter. I was supposed to promote my friend's Battle of the Beards contest, and I kind of just blew him off and didn't do anything. And when I got to court, I really didn't have much of a defense at all either. Judge Alex was not impressed with me.
To me, I just think communication was failed.
Communication was failed?
I agree.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. I just think it was just a misunderstanding, and I don't understand why it's got to be like this.
How much weed do you smoke?
You could be any journalist that you want to be. This is a company called Monet. They're a multi-level marketing company, aka a pyramid scheme, where the only people who make money that work for them are the people at the top of the pyramid, all the executives. Everyone else just ends up wasting a bunch of time or losing money, actually. In addition to being one of these companies, they're also been known for making people lose their hair. Yeah, they have like skin products that were making people lose their hair. So I emailed them and pretended to be a reporter from a newspaper I made up called the Coloradoan Times. Signed, my name is Jackie Jones. I emailed them a meme I made of their CEO. I photoshopped him bald and said, if you like the Vin Diesel look, you should try our hair products because they'll make you bald. They wrote back and said, it's absolutely, unequivocally not from their CEO. So I said, okay, we'll make note that he didn't say anything about Vin Diesel. However, we do have something Vin Diesel said about him. I said, we can share that with you too before we run our story. They're like, yes, we absolutely want to see that story and quote before you run it. So I was like, okay, yes, this is directly from Vin's reps. I've relied on Monat to keep me bald for years. So after this email, the next email I got was from their lawyers. And they sent me a multi-page demand letter. It mentioned Vin Diesel like 6 times. And they said that you can tell it's not their CEO by a simple Google search. They said if Jackie or the Coloradoan Times publishes this, they'll take swift legal action. And then they gave me a deadline to confirm that I won't publish this. And then they said if you have any questions or want to address this issue further, please contact us or have your attorney do so. So I had my attorney do so. I wrote them and said, on January 28th, 2021, you threatened to take swift legal action. I'm reaching out to inform you that if you take any legal action against Jackie or the Coloradoan Times, even just a tiny hair of legal action, I'll respond by photoshopping every Monad executive bald. These photos will be posted on the internet and made easily accessible by a simple Google search. In addition, I'll get in touch with every bald celebrity to ask them if they'd be interested in promoting Monad, and that list includes, but is not limited to, Pitbull, Charles Barkley, Samuel L. Jackson, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Larry David, Seal, Terry Crews, and the Dalai Lama. You have until Friday, January 29th, 2021 at 8:59 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to read this email. That time has already passed. If you have any questions or wish to address this issue further, please do not hesitate to contact a Jones. Sincerely, Jackie Jones. Jones, Jones & Jones, LLC, attorneys at law. You mess with Jones, you get the Jones. So I shared this online, and someone saw it, I guess, and then they sent me a link to a Zoom party that all of the executives, all the people at the top of the pyramid at Monad were having together. So I joined as Trae Angle, and it got a little awkward in there.
And I see one face I don't recognize. Who is Mr. Angle?
Hey, I'm Trae.
And they removed Trae from the meeting. So I tried rejoining. I changed my name really quick and tried to rejoin, and they let me back in. So I was able to say,
You mess with the Jones, you get the Jones.
You could be anything.
I know a big thing a lot of people are looking for is how to get out of jury duty. I figured out what works for me. Just be myself. Just be honest. I got called in for jury duty years ago down in Los Angeles, and I was frustrated because I had a bunch of tour dates. I was going to miss them. You know, the trial would have been long, so I sent in a little letter asking to be dismissed, and they didn't care. And they made me come in there, so I'm pretty irritated when I get there. I'm worried about getting stuck on this long, trial. Had nothing to worry about. Turns out all I had to do was just, be myself, honestly answer their questions. And they wanted nothing to do with me. When I got there, I figured out you can ask for another form to be dismissed. And the last question on that form is super direct. It just says, do you think you would make a fair juror? And I was just honest, and I wrote, no. I'm a comic. I get paid to make quick judgments and stick to them, and that's probably what I'm going to do in your court. Which is kind of true. I kind of trust my gut, and I thought that would get me dismissed. No, it didn't. I get stuck in a little jury selection pool. Now the defense attorney is asking me questions in front of the defendant, which is always awkward that he's in the room. We're just talking about him like he's not there. And the judge told us this guy had just served, 4 years for the attempted murder. He's just been released for the attempted murder of a rival gang member. Now he's being charged with murdering a different rival gang member. So in my head, I'm like, great, I'm in a room with somebody, definitely getting better at murder. And I thought that because when I saw him, I thought, yeah, he did it. For sure, that's a murderer right there. I thought he was guilty the second I saw him. I still do to this day. I'll tell you why. He had a lot of gang tattoos covering about half his face. Face, that's a commitment. To have gang tattoos. Not just tattoos, gang tattoos. Probably half. Half his face covered in gang tattoos. And look, I do realize having gang tattoos all over your face does not make you a murderer. Unless you're charged with murder. Then it absolutely probably does. The defense attorney, he read my answer to that last question about, making quick judgments. And I wrote that as a comic, so I think he thought I was joking. And he goes, have you made any judgments here so far? And I was not joking, and I go, yeah. I think he did it. It was so uncomfortable, I had to point at him as he stared back at me. With his tattooed murder face, probably memorizing features. And he says, you can't know that. You've heard literally no evidence. And I just said, look at his face. Everybody thinks he did it. And when I said that, I heard some snickering from the other potential jurors. I looked over, I counted at least 2 little sneaky thumbs up. They wanted to show their support, but not get in trouble with the judge. I had a hot crowd, I was killing in the courtroom. I wanted to put on a good show. And he says if the police, or if the prosecution doesn't provide enough evidence to prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, you have to find him not guilty. That's his words, you have to. And I just said, no, I don't. I don't have to. I make bad decisions all the time. I could make one here. And he said that would be illegal, and I got nervous. Because I watch a lot of crime shows, but I still don't fully understand what contempt of court means. But I felt like I was treading in that direction. And then I thought, well, you've come this far, let's write it out. I was like, I don't know, maybe it is illegal. You're a lawyer. You know the law better than I do. But I'll tell you this. Just like bad decisions, I do illegal stuff all the time, and I usually get away with it. I was texting about how much I didn't want to be here the whole time I drove here today, and no one pulled me over, did they? And he just shook his head, talked to the judge, and 2 minutes later, I was walking to my car, a free man. The truth had set me free.
Any Chinese people in the crowd? Any Chinese? 中国人吗？你们是中国人吗？你是中国人吗？
I'm from Australia, mate.
Oh, you're from Australia, okay. 我说中文你会听得懂吗？
一点点。
一点点，哇，挺好。那我跟你说中文，你如果跟我说中文，没关系。你父母是哪里的？
中国人。
哦，中国人，中国哪里？
上海。
哦，上海，哇，挺好，哇。
谢谢。
Don't worry, they get uncomfortable. The crowd get uncomfortable because I'm prepared for the future and they are not, so it's difficult. Also, can you please verify that I was actually speaking Chinese? Because I know some people are like, oh my God, I saw the most racist thing yesterday. This white guy was on stage, he was like, any Chinese people? And then he chung-chung-ching this guy at the second table. I was like, fuck, cancel this guy already. Like, oh my God. Cancel him, seriously.
I'll just get this out of the way. I am aware of my accent as well. I don't need you guys just staring at me, being like, where's it come from? Because that happens every show I do. The first 5 minutes, they won't let me be a person with thoughts. It's just a guessing game. They're like, is it Texas? No. Mississippi? I'm like, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. I just tell them, Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. Every time I'm like, oh, you like a redneck? I'm like, absolutely not. It's highly offensive what you just said. Then they're like, you like a hillbilly? I relate. But if you meet an actual hillbilly, you have made a terrible mistake. You need to get off their property. They don't like that. That's like their only rule. Get! Oh, he said get with an I. Go, go. I get it. They also want to know too, like especially people who've never been to the South, fascinated, like, what's the South really like? What's it really like? I'm like, well, it's probably like 8 or 10 of the coolest cities, full of the coolest people, very just unique and just a meld of different human beings and cultures. It's amazing, and the rest of it is exactly what you've heard. But more intense than you can imagine. And then they're always like, well, what's the worst part of the South? I'm like, Alabama, before you finish that question. You guys know, all right. And they're always, every time though, they're always like, well, what about Mississippi? I'm like, that's not their fault. Historically, the worst education system in our country since the start. They don't know any better. In Alabama, they know better. They just don't give a shit. That got applause in Birmingham. It's not what I was going for. I was trying to shame them. And they were like, that's us. Yeah. Roll Tide. I know how the accent sounds. I'm aware. It sounds dumb. I get it. It's a scam. We're all running. People think we're way dumber than we actually are. It's the opposite of the British accent. Think about it. Yeah, they sound smart. But if you listen, you're like, oh, you're dumb as hell. I get it. There's certain words I shouldn't say. Makes people uncomfortable. Like, my wife is Jewish. Just saying that, people are like, hey, easy. Careful. I'm like, what? I married a Jew. People are like, I know you can't say that. Like, you can't say that. We just had a baby. I made a Jew. People are like, I gotta get out of here. He's trying to get people fired. Don't go over there. I did. I made a Jew, you guys. You can applaud, that's cool. It would have been weird if you kind of applauded and then didn't. You guys came through. I didn't know growing up I could make a Jew. I didn't know. But I can, and I did. Pretty cool. What happened was my wife is Jewish, and her vagina, also Jewish. And the baby came out of there, Jew. It's science. And religion, I think. I don't understand. It's confusing. I don't ask a lot of questions. But he's got blonde hair and blue eyes. I Nazi-proof that son of a bitch. You can laugh out loud. That's a good thing I did. You guys can enjoy yourself here at the comedy show. Feel free. That joke 3 or 4 years ago was just historically funny, and then it got relevant again. I'm just saying, I did not see them making a comeback. I didn't. Fascinating. 3 or 4 years ago, people laughed and were like, that's funny. Now people laugh and like, that's good you did that. I get this question a lot because I sound like I do and then I say the stuff I do. How'd you get that way? It's confusing. You sound, like you sound, but the stuff you say is not from where you're from. Like, I had to evaluate it, and it's like, I think it's because my parents are pretty cool people. Like, my dad's a football coach and teacher. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I called him before he retired, like a couple years ago. I was like, hey, man, what do you do during the day? He's like, you need to mind your own business, is what you need to do. Yes, sir, coach. My mom's an English teacher and a maniac. That's what she does. Sure, her name is Storm. Yeah, that's weird, right? I was in my 20s before I was like, that is weird. Because when you're little, you're just like, I guess everyone's mom's named after an American gladiator. That's how it is. That's Steven's mom, Laser. I lived in Seattle for a while, and they came to visit my parents. And there's a WNBA team there named the Seattle Storm. I was like, is there anything you guys want to do while you're here? Like anything special? And my mom was like, I want to go see that Seattle Storm play. And I was like, why? She's like, because their name's I hate you so much. Smart ass. I was like, professional smart ass. I had no interest in going in the game, and my dad was like, I like fundamental basketball. You gotta listen to him, he's kind of mean. So I got them tickets, they went to the game, they came back. My dad walked past me like nothing happened. I was like, hey Mom, what's going on? How was the game? It was great, I think I might be homophobic. What happened at the game? She's like, well, they were great seats. Oh, thank you so much. We're down close, and action started happening. We were having fun, and then there was like a timeout, and then there were a lot of lesbians there. I was like, you don't have to whisper that word. That's their preferred word. She said, okay. Well, there are a lot of, I can't not whisper it. I don't know why. I was like, okay, there are a lot of lesbians there, Mom, yeah. And she was like, yeah. And then when there's the timeout, they'd all start making out and like their tongues going everywhere. I was like, oh, I don't like this. I was like, huh. Well, if there had been a bunch of straight couples there making out during the timeout, would that have bothered you? Yes. Stop making me see your tongue in public. I don't like that. I'm like, oh, Mom, you don't like public displays of affection, PDA. You're not homophobic. And she was like, oh, thank God. It's in there. I didn't like it, but it was in there, you know? And that was the moment where I was like, oh, this is how I am the way I am. Because my neurotic mother, my whole life, has been like, have you worried about something that doesn't exist and can't happen yet? She go worry about that.
Living in Philadelphia means I have mice in my home. It comes with the deed. And on the lease, it's my wife and I and 17 mice. You're going to roll your eyes at this, but my wife and I were animal lovers. So we don't have the traps that kill the mice. Thank you. But we have the traps that trap the mice, and then you drive them 7.5 miles away because apparently someone drove them 7 and they came back. One of the most degrading trial and error situations, I would imagine. So you rehome them. You rehome the mice. That's what you do. And it's weird. I've been working my entire life to become a professional stand-up comedian, and now it turns out I'm just an Uber for varmints. That's what I put on my taxes. Uber for varmints. I have 20,000 dependents spread throughout the city. They say it's the humane thing to do, though, not to kill them. What they don't tell you is how weird you look when you drive into a random neighborhood, get out of your car, and then just release mice into it. Be free! I did the other day while a school was getting out, and this little girl turns to her dad, and she goes, oh my God, Daddy, is that a wizard? Because no, he's more of a male witch if you get to know him, actually. That's more of his vibe. I've been going down to this place called the Jersey Shore a lot since I moved back to the East Coast. If you don't know what it is, it's like the beach where people from Philly and New York go. And there's a place in particular that I've been going. It's called Ocean City, New Jersey. And yes. And I've been going on, like, that's going to have to be cut out, what I just did. We can't have it. Oh. they blur it out, you know, get so humiliated. Like, oh! My apologies to the editor of this special. I apologize. So I've been going down to Ocean City, New Jersey a lot, and they had this issue where this is a real thing. Seagulls were dive bombing people on the boardwalk, and they were knocking food out of their hands and knocking hats off ladies' heads. So the local government in Ocean City, New Jersey, their solution to this, after much deliberation, was to hire a birds of prey company to release hawks into the air to go to war with the seabirds? What the f***? That was your solution? And one of my favorite things to witness in life is this thing that I call the I f***ed up at work walk, where you messed up at your job and you have to tell your boss, and you're not going to get fired, but he's going to be a real piece of about it. So you're kind of just trudging, you know, the way you're bummed out. And I saw a guy doing that on the boardwalk, and I will paint a colorful description as to what this man looked like. In his one hand, he had a little hood. How little? You might be wondering. A hood so little it would fit perfectly on a hawk's head. And on his other hand, he had a big, scary, thick leather glove going up to his shoulder. And this next part, I feel like I actually don't have to say because you're probably already picturing it in your head, but just in case I'm missing some people, long gray ponytail down his back. You saw it? We saw it. We all saw it. And this guy's trudging. And he goes up to his boss, who looked exactly like him, except his long gray ponytail was like 6 inches longer, you know, to show rank. Excuse me. And our first guy, he goes up to his boss and goes, I messed up! And his boss goes, what happened? And he goes, I lost the bird! And his boss goes, how do you lose a bird? And I go, may I interject? It's a bird. I would imagine, is it the wings? Did it use its wings? Its God-given wings? Oh, okay, it flew away, you idiot. That's how. I'm not a business expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I would imagine part of the risk assessment when you open up a hawk company some of them are gonna fly away. They're gonna fly away. Hey, you lose a bird. Oh my God, it hit me over the head with a fish, stole my iPhone, hailed an Uber, and drove away.
And you know, I have 4 older brothers, okay? 3 of my older brothers, super fun. Life of the party. One of my older brothers, kind of a hard ass. Bit of a bully. When we were kids, he would beat us more than our parents. That's just wrong. Now, guess which one of my brothers became a cop? So I called him by accident. You ever call the wrong sibling? I was like, hello? Like, oh. Now I gotta think of something to say. So like, well, kids. He has kids, I have kids. We get that out of the way, 5 minutes. Hey man, what's going on? Just checking in, seeing how you doing, you know? Just got Nellie, that's my youngest daughter. Just got Nellie your last set of vaccinations, so she's all caught up. Yeah, we're not gonna be doing that around here. We're gonna keep our DNA intact. Now, my brother knows my daughter is adopted. I have 3 daughters. They're all from China. Because I'm terrified of my DNA. And I'm sorry, I don't understand how it can be in this day and age that an educated person can be against something as fundamentally beneficial as a vaccine. And then it hit me. You know why they're against it? Because other people are for it. The end. That's it. You just have to be for something, and they'll show up. It's all they have. It's what they do. Go online tomorrow morning and just quietly post, I like French toast. Check back in 20 minutes. French toast. Breakfast of the privileged. What else do you like for breakfast? Genocide? Where do you work? But his reasoning drives me crazy. I get vaccinated. I don't know how it works. Right. That's why we went out and got some people smarter than you. So we can have fun stuff like open heart surgery and airplanes. I don't know how zippers work. But every morning I put my faith in the science. Leave the house fairly certain I'm not going to be in line at the bank with my out. It all comes down to fear. It's just fear. I'm afraid I'm going to get sick, so I want everything you have. I want pills, I want shots, I want surgery, I want everything you can give me. But my brother, he's much smarter than I am. He's an independent thinker. He thinks what all the other independent thinkers think. That the government, the same people in charge of the post office and the DMV are also behind a massive global genetic super conspiracy that I will believe when I can buy 1 stamp in under 45 minutes.
I had fun with a lot of stuff back when I was in college. Right? It's easier to have fun when you're going to school, have less responsibilities. I had fun with an ant infestation. Might sound unusual, but it's true. I had a terrible, terrible ant infestation my senior year, like thousands and thousands of ants. Never considered calling an exterminator. Overjoyed that they were pouring into the house. Why call an exterminator? You don't call for backup, when you've declared war. Those ants march into a house of death. I used to like to lure them onto the kitchen counter with some maple syrup. Maybe they think it was a sign of peace. Maybe I wanted to sign a tiny little treaty with them. They were horribly mistaken. I'd let them gather, then I'd get a can of WD-40 to match. Hello, napalm. This is war, ants. I'd burn them, but I'd leave a few alive, and I'd watch them walk back into the wall and pretend they were sending a message to the Queen. He's gone mad, Your Majesty. He burned Richard. That's exactly how they talk inside my head. If you want to have fun with ants, but you don't want to actually hurt them like that, you can also just kind of psychologically torture them. I discovered how to do that as well. Take one ant, put him in a Tupperware container full of sugar, seal him in, and just start laughing. This is his worst nightmare. All the sugar he could ever want, nowhere to take it. Walk around and around, just losing his tiny mind. After like an hour, you take him out, throw him back on the anthill, and laugh some more. They're gonna have questions he can't answer. We smell the sugar, Nigel. Where is it? I do not know, sire. I do not know. Yeah, those ants were British. All ants are British because they colonize.
I've never been in a fight. I've been punched in my face. It was a mistake. The person who did it afterwards, he's like, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else. He punched me in my face and then apologized. I apologized back. I'm like, I'm sorry for looking like that guy. I wound up with a black eye. And when you get a black eye, you should look tough. Immediately, you should look tough if you get a black eye. It did not have that effect on me. I remember I was walking around with my wife with it. I thought people would see me and be like, that guy fought another guy. But with her by my side, they were like, I think she hits him.
This annoyed me. You ever have someone start talking to you mid-sentence, someone you don't even know? I'm online at the bank, the guy next to me, boy, Thursday was cloudy. Who the hell are you? You hate that when you know someone's gonna talk to you. I don't like that. You can tell when someone's gonna talk to you, too. Right, they walk in the room, they don't have to say a word. You're like, oh, no. This guy's definitely gonna talk to me. I can tell he's gonna come to me any second. He's a chatter. I can tell these chatters. You can tell the chatter people, too. They're very happy people. They're excited to be wherever they are. They usually know everybody's name. Also usually jingle and change, like, oh yeah, Bobby, Tommy, how's it going there, Frankie? Hey, Robert, how you doing there, man? What's going on, man? It's good to see you. At some game the other day, huh? The weather. Oh, crap, he's coming to me. He is coming to me any second. I try to look busy, you know? But I'm online at the bank. I don't know how you look busy online at the bank, you know? He's like, maybe if I look like I have to go to the bathroom, he won't talk to me. You know? All right, it's working, but now I have to go to the bathroom. I have a whole new set of problems now. Oh, I don't enjoy the bank. I hate going to the bank. I'm always in a rush when I go to the bank. I'm never prepared either. I never have one of those checking deposit slips on me. I have to fill it out there. You start filling it out, you see someone else walk in the bank, you have that little anxiety attack. You're like, oh, man. No, drop the pen. No, drop it, no. Drop the pen, lady! No, I'm not gonna be last in line because I'm having a problem spelling 13, okay? I hate being the only one in the bank, too. That sucks. You still gotta walk through the ropes. How smart do you feel then, right? Hey! Yeah, hi. Go around, okay, all right. I'm gonna make a deposit when I get to the front area. That's what I'll talk to you in a minute. This is, all right, yeah. They should have a guy handing out cups of water. All right, thank you. All right, good. There better be a hunk of cheese at the end of this maze, I'll tell you that much. I didn't realize this either, but there's a line on the floor at the end of the ropes that you're not allowed to cross unless the bank teller nods you over. If you've ever walked right up to them, they freak out, right? Hey, how you doing? Sir, get back! Sir, get back! You can't come up here yet. I am not ready, sir. We're busy. We will nod you over when we are ready to go. It's even worse at the airport. When you go to the airport, there's like 1 million ticket agents lined up for like a quarter mile long. I don't like being the next on line there. There's way too much pressure there. Everybody's pumped up. They're all going on vacation. They're all looking at you. Hey, man, you're next. Yeah, I know I'm next. Shut the hell up. I know. You're all worried. Got my luggage, you're all ready, I know where it's going, right? And the ticket agent people are very impatient, right? Next, I'll take the next person, sir, you're next, right over here. Sir, I will take you right over here, sir. Sir, right over here. Okay, I don't freaking see you, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are. Everybody's pointing. It's over there. It's go there. I don't even know. Where do I go? What's over the other side? Sorry, I didn't know. I don't know where to go. Sir, I'm looking right at you. Okay, that's not helping me. Marco! Then you're so pissed off by the time you get up there, you don't want to go on vacation anymore. Sir, did you pack your own bags? No, I had an Iranian guy named Phil plant a bomb in my ass. I love the questions at the airport because they make you feel real intelligent. Sir, do you know what's in your luggage? I tied a sock around my eyes and I packed with my feet. I'm thinking hot dogs and gunpowder. That's probably it. I like when the ticket agent tells you their job, too. They give you like a play-by-play of what they're doing. Right? It's like you care. You don't know what they're talking about. I was like late for a flight and I gave her my ticket. I was like, here, can you take care of this, please? She's like, let me see what I can do. Okay, your ticket is a code fare basis red. Now what I can try to do, I can try to punch it in as a green. Let me see if this works here. Backspace, semicolon, capital P. No, see, it's not accepting it, okay? Because your ticket is a T15011-6 as it stands right now. Now, what we can try to make it is a T6-15-411, but we will receive... Whatever! I gotta get to the Big Apple, sister! Move it along! Susie with the wings and the hair in a bun and I'm a vest. Punch it in and shut off. I hate when you're online with like a lot of luggage. That stinks. And then the line only moves like 4 feet. Right? Yeah. Thanks. No, I gotta go. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're good. Okay. Yeah, okay. Whew, it's a lot of luggage for a little amount of space, isn't it? Oh, we're moving again. We're going again. Okay.
The spider that freaks me out the most, this might surprise you, it's not the tarantula, it's not the black widow, it's the daddy longlegs. Yes, right? Ugh. If you don't know what a daddy longlegs is, it's like a pencil eraser with a bunch of like spindly coming out of it, you know? Like, like no. No, that bug's a pig. Mm-mm. And someone told me the other day that I told them that I was afraid of daddy longlegs spiders. And she goes, oh, well, actually, a daddy longlegs spider is harmless to human beings because its fangs are not strong enough to pierce human skin. And to that I said, oh, do not talk to me like that. Don't speak to me that way. Its fangs are not strong enough. Like, socialize yourself. Go outside. What are we doing? Take that fang talk with you. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And if you get nothing out of my set tonight, this is very important. She was wrong. She was very wrong. A daddy longlegs is not harmless to human beings because no animal is harmless to humans if he makes you call him daddy. Ah, yeah, look at daddy's long legs. Oh, God. Kill it. Smush that pervert. We can't have it.
If you want to feel worse about yourself, watch America's Got Talent. Great way to make yourself feel like a useless piece of garbage. Because the things people do on America's Got Talent are just so insanely impressive. And then they also have these crazy backstories of adversity that make it even more impressive. Someone will go up and be like, "Hi, everyone, my name's Connor. I'm 14 years old. I was born with a very rare eye disease that has rendered me almost completely blind. At the age of 2, I started juggling butcher knives." Which has been tough because of, the blindness. Now I perform and panhandle on street corners to help support my paralyzed single mother. I'm watching, I just made an omelet all by myself. Very humbling show to watch. And I can tell the things that people do on America's Got Talent are insanely impressive, but it's too impressive for the average viewer to emotionally connect to, and that's what you want, I just think, someone will go up there and be like, "Hi, judges, for my performance today, I'm gonna be solving 30 Rubik's Cubes in 5 seconds while on fire." Do something crazy. I think you just say something more relatable. I wanna see someone go on stage and be like, "Hi, judges, for my performance today, I will be assembling this IKEA wardrobe." Without saying the F word. I'd be like, "What? No chance. How's he gonna do that?"
Saw the new It movie earlier this year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't have been able to see that many years ago because I was too scared of clowns. I used to be really scared of clowns because of a childhood incident. When I was a little kid, about 7 years old, wasn't supposed to be watching, HBO, those kind of channels, but I'd always try and sneak it. And one time I started watching it, and it was this movie Poltergeist, the original Poltergeist, right? If you've seen that movie, you know that there's a scene, there's a little boy, maybe 8 or 9 years old, somewhere around there, and he has this clown doll sitting in the corner of his room. And then when the house goes crazy with all this demonic activity, one night he wakes up and the clown doll's gone, it's under his bed, tries to strangle him. Well, unfortunately for me, that clown doll wasn't a prop made for the movie. It was just a regular clown doll that you could buy at any toy store that I happened to have an exact replica of. It was my favorite toy for whatever reason, sitting in the corner of my room. It was so close to the movie. At that point, it's like I'm not even watching the movie. It's like I'm looking through a wormhole into my own horrific future. So I completely panic, but I don't want to tell my mom because I'm going to get in trouble. If she finds out I'm watching something I'm not supposed to. So I think, I got to deal with this in-house. And in my little kid brain, what made sense was to take the clown doll downstairs, hang him from a doorknob, and just kind of work him for about 30 minutes. Just punch him and kick him and talk tough. You're not going to strangle me! Stupid clown. And then that backfired. Because about 20 minutes into the beating, I thought, well, if he wasn't upset before. Now he's legitimately angry. He has a reason to try and strangle me. So I threw him in the trash. And that's where the story should have ended. And would have ended if my mom hadn't taken out the trash that night and thought, "Oh, hey, Danny threw away his favorite toy by mistake. I'll just put him back in the corner of his room while he's asleep." Worst case scenario. I woke up early the next morning to use the bathroom, about lost my mind. Clowny, magically back in the corner, staring at me, and he seemed angry. He seemed angry to me. Had recurring nightmares for weeks after that. Became phobically afraid of clowns for a long time. But then I got over it. You got to face your fears, that's what they say. You got to face them head on. So I was proud of myself. A couple years ago, I didn't like it. It was hard, but I went to the circus alone. A couple clowns came out and I wanted to leave. They're pretty creepy, but I thought, no, you're not going to win again. I stayed for the entire circus performance. And then I had the courage, when the circus was over, to find one of those clowns and follow him home. Let's see how you like it. And I waited for him to fall asleep, and I snuck in his house, and I sat in the corner of his room. And when he woke up, you should have seen the look on his face. The smile was painted on, but the tears were real.
It was so much easier to make friends when you're a kid, right? I remember when I was 6, Craig moved in next door. He was 6. We were both just like, oh, age and proximity. That's all we need. Best friends for life. Some guy my age moves in next door to me now. I'm like, if this guy talks to me, I will be furious. so easy to hang out when you're a kid. You just invite him over to play. You don't even have to be specific. He always comes over. We always have a great time, and we're always mad to be called for dinner. Do you remember liking life that much? That you're annoyed about dinner? Always asking to be excused. Please, can I go back to my life? How much eating do we have to do in this house? Kids hate meals and bedtime. That's all I have now. Right? I call those the big two. And if I ever do hang out with another male friend now, it's never playful anymore. It's always like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. You want to get together and eat? We could like talk and eat. Best case scenario, there's a big game on TV. We don't even have to speak. We can just watch other men playing. They're playing well. I love that. Don't you love it when our favorite men play well? They always play better when they play together, huh? That play was unbelievable. Let's touch hands. That was so nice. Maybe after this we could play. Yeah, no, you're right. We ate a lot. Sleep would be incredible. You're always right. You're my best friend. I'll see you again in 2 years. Sometimes I don't think we give kids enough credit for how traumatic grade school is. Remember 6th grade, phys ed, run a 7-minute mile in street clothes? And then just straight to math. Shouldn't have worn hiking boots today. Smells like a locker room in here. You kids ready to learn about parabolas? My heart rate is parabolic. Recess is right after lunch because that's how digestion works. Yeah. Yeah, now that you've had spaghetti with milk. Seems like a good time to go run around in a parking lot. They all puked again. Good thing we have our one janitor. I think if I'd live one day on a grade school schedule, it would be the worst day of my adult life. Starting the day at 6 a.m., standing on a street corner in the rain, waiting on a bus with no seatbelts or schedule. Jostles you to homeroom. That's your coffee, is the jostle. Homeroom, you're not allowed to speak. No phones, no music, no gum. Do I have any human rights? No speaking. Now pledge your loyalty to your country. Go on, pledge how much you love America. I'm 7. And admit that there's a God. Admit that there's one God. Go ahead. My parents are agnostic. Well, I won't tell them. Go ahead. Admit that there's one God, and you can say it quiet. All right, you're free to go to first period U.S. history as taught by the JV football coach. Enjoy his unique perspective. A lot of hot takes on the Constitution. A lot of gun stuff in the pop quiz. Old Coach Hines. Coach Hines, he would time you for getting water. Kids stand in line and he would go 1, 2, 3, time. That's all the water you get as a child. Is a fast 3 seconds. I think kids are going through school dehydrated. If he liked you, he'd go 1, 2, 3, and time. That's if he liked you. Yeah.
But I want to talk about these bags. And this is one of those reusable shopping bags. And this one just happens to be made out of plastinium, you know? Just a coincidence. But where I'm from in Boulder, they want you to use these bags. And if you use one of these plastic shopping bags, they charge you $0.10 per bag. Tax, I know. And it always gets really quiet during this part of the show. Everybody's like, dude, just pay the damn dime, you know? And honestly, it would not be the first time I bought a dime bag in Boulder, but it makes me mad. Because I feel like I'm doing my part. Like I say, I'm a vegetarian, I ride the bus, and I don't care if you eat me. You could tackle a cow right in front of me and start gnawing on it. I'd be like, hey, I think that's your right, go ahead, you know? And if the cow started winning, I would jump down there and start fighting the cow with you. But it makes me mad. Like I say, 10 cents a bag, right? But here's what I found, and that is that these much smaller produce bags are free, you know? So I started bagging my groceries in these, and then I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need some help to the bus stop, because I have 83 of these. You could send a bag boy, and that didn't sound right, so then I was like, bag person, and that sounded even weirder. So I was like, if you could just send your lowest paid employee, that would be great. So here's the other thing though, you know, like I go through the self-checkout and it prompts you and it says, how many bags would you like to purchase? So one day I was feeling my oats and I'm like, hey, I hit 200 and hit send, you know? So the manager comes out and he goes, sir, you didn't mean to purchase 200 bags, did you? And I threw down to 20 and I said, I sure did, man. And I made him count out 200 of these plastic bags. And then I was like, Oprah, you get a bag, you get a bag. So, thanks, man. So the manager comes out and he goes, sir, you have to stop. You can't do that. And I said, you can't stop me. I bought these bags. This is America. I'm doing it. And it turns out they could stop me. There was a lawsuit and I'm no longer allowed to shop for groceries in Boulder. So.
You know who doesn't seem as silly to me as they used to? Doomsday preppers. Remember how ridiculous those guys used to seem? Like, hey, look at that weirdo with the beard and the bomb shelter. Now I'm like, wait, so how far below ground does that need to be? What is the proper jar size for urine storage? It's fine, man. I won't be here. I don't care. I'm 45, which means I'm not elderly, but I am decaying. I've crested physically. Like, it's not getting better. There's literally nothing positive in my future from a physical standpoint. It's not like, man, just you wait till I turn 50. I'm gonna be ripped. Nope. For the rest of my life, it's this body or more disgusting. That's what it is. It's all going one direction, just talking about pace. You know when you pull a tomato out of your fridge? You know, because like 2 weeks ago you were feeling optimistic at the grocery store. I don't know if that resonates with people. Every 6 months or so, I'll be at the grocery store packing up my usual cartload of garbage, my Diet Mountain Dew and my flavor-blasted goldfish crackers. And this weird wave of health optimism will sweep over me, like, what if I start making salad at home? I'm gonna change my life. Today's the day where I transform into a salad guy. I start throwing produce in my cart willy-nilly. I never feel so proud as when I'm pushing a cart full of vegetables up to the register. You're right, supermarket lady. That is a lot of salad I'll be having later. You losers in line are gonna be waiting for a while because she's gotta weigh all this. No scanning for this kid. You gotta punch in some codes for me, lady. What is the code for artichokes? I don't know. Look it up in your little spinny wheel. That little paper towel holder with the numbers on it. Look it up. Then I go home and I take my $73 worth of produce and drop it in the bottom drawer of the fridge and forget about it. Cut to 15 days later. It's around midnight, and I've had one of those days. You know, those days where you end it by just staring into the fridge looking for answers. You're not even hungry, it's just like, okay, fridge, give me something. Give me something. Let's turn this one around, fridge. You can do it for me. What if I get really close and shut the door behind me? Does that feel like a hug? Is that kind of like a hug from the fridge? It's so cold. Just like mommy. I spent a lot of nights staring into the fridge, man. Like, all right, nothing on this shelf, nothing on this shelf, nothing down here. What the hell is this? Oh my God, that's salad! I totally forgot about salad. Remember salad? That was that day I was gonna change my life. Oh my God, I was so high that day. But sometimes you will pull a tomato out and it's like smaller than when you bought it. Like it's not rotten, but it's been in there for a while, so it's like a little shriveled. When you poke it, it leaves a dent. And you have to ask yourself, can I eat this without it making me sick? Ladies, that is the exact stage that this body is in. Oh, you can eat me, but it must be today. You have to eat me today. I don't think she's into it. What about you, Chrome Dome? You want to get weird tonight? You and me? A little sexy? Make this a Valentine's to remember? I'm trying to stave off the inevitable. I do go to the gymnasium. I don't like it. I'm not one of those weirdos who enjoys physical fitness. I used to go to a personal trainer, and I had to stop because the guy was just too excited about life. Just bummed me out. He was always telling me to bring it. Like, I'd be on the bench trying to push up the bar, he'd be standing above me. Come on, man, bring it, bring it! Like, dude, I don't even think I have it. So, let me look around and I'll just bring whatever I find. How about you bring it and I borrow it for like an hour? And 10 minutes later, he told me to get some. Like, come on, man, get some! Okay, why did I need to bring it if there was some here? That makes zero sense. Wordplay. I'm making changes. I am making changes. I'm trying to quit. Just quit overall. That's my plan for the future. Quitters get a bad rap. There's a lot of anti-quitter bias in this country. From an early age, they tell you, hey, stick with it. Don't be a quitter. The world needs quitters, people. Without quitters, a stampede would never end. Think about it. A herd of buffalo thundering across the plain, just running. They don't know why they're running. They're just running because everybody else is running. They'd run until they drop dead, if not for that one heroic quitter who looked around and said, yeah, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go chill by the creek. I aim to be that buffalo. I should quit things, man. I stick with things too long.
Not a farm guy. I'm a suburb guy. I'm a suburb guy. And, you know, I think a lot of people say the suburbs is like a soft life. Like it's easy. It's not. It's tough. There's a lot of tough stuff. I had a problem at the Red Lobster the other day. It was serious. I mean, here's what happened. My waitress thought that I was poor. I'm not, okay? I'm not rich. I'm not gonna stand up here and brag to you guys about how much money I make, but let's just say I can walk into a Red Lobster and get whatever, okay? Like, I'm making that kind of cash. Like, I'm pulling that down. I'm not saying every day, but I'm saying 2-3 times a month I can walk in there, and I'm not looking at the prices, okay? And not just during Lobster Fest. I'm saying on a regular Tuesday, I'm doing fine. And I was wearing like my third best shirt. This is 6. I didn't look poor. Here's what happened. I go, I'll take the trout and I want some asparagus. She goes, oh, sir, asparagus is a premium side. I was like, what does that mean? It's real good? She goes, no, it's extra. I was like, how much? She goes, $1.29. I was like, I can swing it. I mean, I'm gonna have to call my guy. You know, we're gonna have to move some stuff around. You know, probably put off retirement for a couple years, but I want the asparagus. Matter of fact, I want 3 asparaguses, or three asparagus. What I'm trying to say is I can spare a guy, okay? I got plenty of guys. I'm gonna keep the girls, but you know. I don't like it when they tell you how many sides you can have at the restaurant. I went to this place, I go, I'll take the salmon, I want a baked potato, and I want a sir, you only get 1 side. I get however many sides I say I get. I'm a grown man, all right? I decide the sides. I'm the side decider. I'll make it rain sides up in here. I want all the sides. I want them all twice, okay? I want a baked potato twice. And I'm not talking about a twice baked potato. I want 2 baked potatoes side by side. I want a roast beef sandwich. Sir, that's on a side. Well, then you put it on the side. I call the shots. Yeah. I want rice pilaf. And between me and you guys, I have no idea what rice pilaf is. I went to 5 different restaurants and I ordered rice pilaf and it was completely different at every restaurant. These pilaf farmers need to standardize their product. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I Googled it, very loose definition. From what I can tell, rice pilaf is rice with anything else you want to put in it. Anything. You know, sometimes you drop your phone in the toilet and you got to put it in rice to dry it out. Technically, that's rice pilaf, okay? That's a Palafian dish. I was in Iowa and I was doing a show and there was a bunch of farmers in the crowd and I don't know anything about farming. So I asked this guy, I go, what do you farm? He goes, beans? And I said, like green beans? And they all started laughing at me like I was the dumbest person they'd ever met. He thinks we go green beans in Iowa. Oh, that's a good one there, green bean. Green beans in Iowa, don't that beat all? This fella is a comedian, I'll tell you. It was soybeans, all right, it was soybeans. I didn't know. By the way, green beans, that's not that ridiculous of an answer. That's a real food. I've eaten them before. I didn't say jelly beans, okay? I said a legitimate vegetable. I don't know what the plants look like. I mean, I know corn. Like I know corn. Like I could pick corn out of a lineup, but past that, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I get confused. I'm like, is that a potato tree? I can't tell. I'm not sure. Like, you should be nice to people when they don't know something. That's how I was brought up. You know, I live in the suburbs of St. Louis. I hope one of those farm guys comes to the suburbs sometime. Maybe I won't be so nice to him. I'll take him and do like some, you know, suburb stuff or whatever. I'll take him to the Texas Roadhouse. He won't know what to do there. Where's the bowl for the peanut shells? You throw them on the floor, dummy. Ah, ha, ha. You don't know what to do in the suburbs, you stupid bean picker. I'll take him to Starbucks. I'll take a large coffee. It's called venti here. Venti, dirt digger. Don't be ordering beans either. They got beans here, but they're coffee beans. Arabica, Robusta, no soy. Then the barista will be like, well, technically, we have soybeans in soy lattes. And I'll be like, you shut your mouth, hippie. All right, you don't take sides against your own kind. We're on the same team. So I told that story later, and this lady came up to me after the show. She goes, hey, I'm a farmer. She goes, don't feel bad about the beans. She goes, I met this guy the other day. He didn't know the difference between field corn and sweet corn. Ha 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 ha. What a dummy. You know how earlier when I said I know corn? I don't. They're like, there's 2 different kinds. I'm like, yeah, on the cob and not on the cob. They're like, no, it's field and sweet. I'm like, oh, sweet. You're talking about kettle corn. I've had it. Yeah. So, like, if you don't know the difference between field corn and sweet corn, field corn, that's what they grind up and they feed to the animals. And sweet corn, that's what we eat. And once they explain it, it's very easy to remember because field corn is grown in a field, whereas sweet corn is grown in a field. So you can see these farmers make it real easy to understand their stuff. When I was in Iowa, I went to the restaurant, and on the front page of the menu it said, we make our own ketchups. They were bragging about their homemade ketchup. Honestly, I'm not sure that I knew ketchup was made. I think I thought that was an element. I thought that was K on the periodic table. It turns out that's potassium, which makes no sense at all. There's not even a K in that word. What, now you're gonna tell me RN is not for ranch dressing? Why don't you take a science class? I tried one of their homemade ketchups. It was not good. Now, granted, I think it was field ketchup, but